mom, dad, dead. Or because of the aunties, the family back home in Ghana, jealousy, envy, witchcraft. Guys, this story is the saddest story I've ever listened to my entire life. Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. If you are new here, hi, my name is Oyinda and I'm so glad that you stumbled across my channel. And if you're a returning subscriber, thank you so much for coming back. You guys know that I really appreciate you guys. So, my voice is feeling a little crackly. I think it's because yesterday I was crying all day and that's why I've come here. I've come to have a chat with you guys. So if you are in the realms of social media, if you're online, if you're chronically online, even if you're not chronically online, I'm sure you've seen the video from The Truth Unspoken.
This is a story of how my auntie unalived my parents, not physically, but mentally and emotionally.
Do you guys know about this story? First, I'm not using this as a piece of content. I'm using this for genuine concern and also because her story was incredibly triggering. And looking at people's comments, it's also evident that it's triggering for a lot of African people. So if you guys don't know the story of The Truth Unspoken, I'm going to try my best to summarize it in the best way I can. I'm not fantastic at summarizing people's stories. I will try, but I'll also insert clips and I will also link her videos so you can watch all 4 parts of it. So it is a Ghanaian girl, and guys, this is someone's true life. This is someone's real life story. Like, it literally broke me. It was the most heartbreaking, gut-wrenching thing I'd ever listened to. And honestly, guys, the world is so wicked and people are so evil. And what jealousy can do, jealousy has no bounds. Envy, because jealousy breeds envy, which leads to hatred. And once there's hatred inside you, the extent that people will go to, I just feel like once you have seen jealousy in a friendship, in a relationship, in anything, flee. Run out, run away, run away, run. Like, you need to run. There's no point staying in that because it will only lead to animosity and they will kill you. They will take your life. So let me try and set the scene. This is a Ghanaian girl. She's now a mum, I think, of 3 kids. And she's retelling the story of her Ghanaian parents who were unfortunately killed both mentally and spiritually, 100% spiritually, by their auntie. So her mum's sister, like blood, edge, blood. And let me actually preface this. You remember that saying, blood is thicker than water? Guys, I didn't know that the true saying is the blood of the covenant is thicker than the water of the womb. So that completely contradicts that truth, that saying. That saying is not true. And it's true, like, blood is not thicker than water. Nah, it is not. Because once your family can do madness to you, they're not your family. Like, they're not your family. So blood is not thicker than water. Blood of the covenant is thicker than water of the womb. That is beautiful. I can't believe that's the true saying. I don't know if anyone else has learned that today, but I learned that yesterday and I was just like, wow, mind blown. But basically, so this girl, her parents came from Ghana to the UK in the 1980s, I believe. And they got an invitation actually from her mum's sister. So her dad, he used to be in the army, so he was well traveled. But the mum, she wasn't. She had never traveled. So anyway, they come to the UK together. They do all the touristy thing. They experience life. They enjoy life, and then they get bored because there's only so much you can do with the touristy stuff. So they told the auntie that, hey, we want to get a job, and apparently she laughed at them. I might say apparently she laughed at them so she laughed at them and. I don't know what, I can't really remember the details, but eventually they got a job, but they had to use fake names. Well, they weren't actually fake names. The names belong to other people, but that's how a lot of people, I know a lot of Africans who have come to this country, that's what they've done. They've used like different ID papers to like get work and stuff like that. So that was very common back then. So anyway, they did that and they started working, and they both got jobs as cleaners, and they were cleaning, getting money, working as they could. And then, like, the dad, whenever he could, he would, give the auntie some money just to help with the bills, because they were living in the auntie's house. So they'd give her money for the bills. Any money he would help, he would offer to buy groceries. And the auntie got jealous. And I'm thinking, what? How are you getting jealous when someone is offering their help and helping you through? What do you mean you're getting jealous? Like, it just did not make any sense to me. She, guys, it still baffles me. So she was helping them, or he was helping them, the family, whenever he could, any money he could. And the auntie was just getting jealous. So the jealousy started. I think because clearly the auntie saw their glory and saw their light and saw that these people are going to do well. They're going to succeed in this life. And she didn't want them to. So anyway, the family, the mom and dad, they were working towards buying their first property. So that's why they were working, saving money. Eventually, they found a property in Mitcham and were like, perfect. They saved the money. They were ready to buy a house. They were even scared to tell the auntie because they knew what the auntie would be like. And lo and behold, when they told the auntie that we've got a place, blah, 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 the auntie was angry. She was livid. Sorry for headphone wearers there. She was livid, like she was fuming, and just said, you guys are ungrateful. So you want them to continue staying in your house for the rest of their life? You don't want them to grow? You don't want them to succeed? What? Anyway, they get a house now and they move into their house. Everything is fine and dandy. One day they're in the house. And at this point, actually, because they want to start a family, at this point, the mum is now pregnant with the girl that's telling the story, the daughter. And the dad, no, they're in the house or in Mitcham, and they just hear beep, beep, beep at the door. So someone's knocking at the door. They're thinking, oh, we're not expecting anyone. What's this? Anyway, the dad goes to open the door, and the door just slams open, and it's the police. And they arrest them. They're like, Mr. and Mrs. Opong, I think. You guys you're arrested for for fake identity, buying a purchase under fake identity, da da da. And both parents went to jail. Her mum was literally heavily pregnant with her, and the mum was in jail for 3 weeks. The dad was in jail for 6 weeks. It's just, the story is so sad. And guess who reported them? The auntie. Yeah. Honestly, it's just heartbreaking. I couldn't believe it. So she reported them to the police and got her family members arrested when she's even heavily pregnant. Like, it's so wicked. Oh God. I'm literally like praying that God just takes control and God leads the way, because I can't believe people can be this cruel and this wicked. Okay, cool. So the auntie, yeah, gets them arrested. They're in jail. The mom comes out of jail now and she's got nowhere to go. Like, she's literally got nowhere to go. So she's just on the bus going from one end to another, until contractions start. Once the contraction starts, she goes to the hospital. She ends up having a C-section and is in hospital for a week. And once she comes out of hospital, she's been discharged by the hospital, but she has no fixed abode, which I was like, why did the hospital let her go if she has no fixed abode? That was not good. Like, I know hospitals aren't hotels or whatever, but at the same time, you would think like maybe social workers would be involved in terms of getting her housing and stuff like that. But anyway, that's besides the point. So she comes out of hospital with a newborn baby. And this woman has nothing to her name. No money. Her husband's still in jail. She's literally got nothing to her name. And she still had the key to the house. So she just said, let me just try it. Let me just see if the door will open. So she goes to the house, and lo and behold, the door actually opened. But obviously the house has been like repossessed. So there's no electricity, there's no light, there's nothing in the house. And she's got this newborn baby, and her. It's winter, it's cold. She's not eaten. This bit, like, I'd forgotten about this until people wrote it in the comments, and this broke me. So obviously, because the mum isn't eating, she's not producing breast milk. She can't give her child, she can't even feed her newborn baby. And she was able to get like an emergency fund, and they gave her £10. And with that £10, she went and bought baby food to give to the baby. But obviously, it's a fresh newborn baby, so a newborn baby can't even have like baby food.
My mum had no money, and obviously she had to feed me. She couldn't breastfeed me because she wasn't really eating herself, so she couldn't really produce breast milk. So what she done was she got a crisis loan, and a crisis loan is something that they used to do back in the days where they give you emergency money if you're in a vulnerable state or if you're a vulnerable person. So that's what my mum done, and she received £10, and that £10 had to sustain her for a while. So she couldn't actually buy me formula because that was expensive. So what she decided to do was buy me baby food. You can imagine, I'm a newborn baby. I have 3 kids myself. I'm a mother myself. All the mothers out there, you know that you can't give food or baby food to a newborn. Like at that stage, it's literally only milk. They can't even drink water. So yeah, that's what she was feeding me. Remember, no electric, no gas, so she couldn't even warm up the food to give me. So she was literally feeding me cold baby food out of the jar.
That bit broke me. Like, this woman literally had nothing. I feel like I'm gonna set myself off again. I'm gonna start crying again. So I'm like trying to retell this story in a calm, collected way. But it's hard. A story like that is just so sad. Like, you can't even retell it in a calm way. Sorry. So then, anyway, she then takes the baby and she's just walking on the street. And at this point, the mum is just done. She's done with life. She's upset. She wants to end it all. So she sees a busy road and she's about to walk into this busy road. But this stranger, this woman, sees her and sees what she's about to do and runs to her and grabs her. And as soon as the woman grabs her, honestly, that woman was an angel. The woman grabs her. The mom just starts crying and she tells her everything that's happened to her. Honest, that woman, that stranger was an angel. Look at how a stranger can do you better than your own family member. Guys, honestly, this story, there was so much wisdom in it. There was so much to learn that family member is it's not the way forward. Nah. Friends, like, honestly, like, my parents have such bad trust issues, yeah? I get it. I have trust issues from friendships. I should have trust issues from my mom's family. Like, the trust, oh God. Anyway, so the stranger that grabbed her from the road, after she's told her everything, this woman was able to get her emergency accommodation. On what a blessing. Gets her emergency accommodation now. After she gets her emergency accommodation, they're there for a while, and then the dad comes out of jail and starts living with them. And this is where my memory starts to fuddle a bit, so I might just fast forward. But as I've said, guys, I'm going to link her video so you guys can watch the full thing. So I'm going to fast forward to a few years later, like, because the girl that's retelling the story, she has a younger brother who's 7 years younger than her, I believe. So I think things were going okay with them. And then the mum started getting some weird symptoms. Turns out the mum ended up having end-stage kidney failure and the mum needed dialysis. So the mum would always be going to St. Helier, I think it was like 3-4 times a week for dialysis. And one of their family members back home in Ghana offered, like, it was her niece, and she offered to donate her kidney. So when obviously they found out, okay, she's willing to donate a kidney, the hospital were like, okay, we can give her a medical visa to come here and she wants to donate the kidney. Cool. So the niece now comes. Sometimes this family back home in Nigeria and Africa, let them stay there. I'm so sorry to say that. because some of them, the mind they have towards you is so cruel and evil. Anyway, so she comes now to the country. At this point as well, things are going well for the family. The dad got a job as a mental health nurse and he's been working as a mental health nurse and he's working hard. Cool. So the niece comes now because she said she wants to donate the kidney. It was a lie. She just wanted to come to the country. And one day, the mum had a dream that a dog bit her. And the next day she woke up and there was a bite on her leg. Guys, dreams are no joke. Spiritual attacks, spiritual warfare is no joke. It is no joke at all. It is, when you see something spiritual, especially dogs, dogs in the dreams always signify witchcraft attack. And the fact that she woke up with a bite on her leg, and then from then on, she would, her leg would be hurting her, and they'll be massaging the leg. And apparently the niece would see the mom in pain and would just be looking at her, doing this, just looking. How evil, how wicked. That's how you know the witchcraft came straight from Ghana.
One day, my mum had a dream where I believe a dog bit her leg. I think it was a dog that bit her left leg, to be precise. I want you guys to remember the left leg, right? Okay. So she had a dream, a dog bit her left leg, and she woke up with a massive scream. And when she woke up, there was a bite on her left leg. It's crazy, I know, but there was actually a bite on her left leg. And I remember from there on, my mum started having really bad pains in her leg. And my mum will be laying down on the living room floor, and me, my brother, my dad, my cousin, and my first son, we would all be in the living room, and my mum will be in pain. We're all like, oh mum, oh, like rubbing her. My cousin will be sitting there like this.
So after that dream had happened and the leg pain, anyway, the niece for what's it called? Sorry. The hospital were like, okay, so your visa, your medical visa is running out, and the niece it doesn't seem as if the niece wants to actually give the kidney, so she's gonna have to be deported. She's gonna have to go back to Ghana. They told the niece this. The niece, obviously, she doesn't want to go back to Ghana. So what does she do? She runs away. The next day, after the niece has run away, because they were looking for her, they're like, where is she? Where is she? Next day, B at the door. It's the police again. And they arrested the dad, and they said that he had been charged for rape and sex trafficking, or trafficking, human trafficking, something like that.
So a few months, I believe it was like 7, 8 months down the line after my cousin disappeared, it was me and my dad and my son at home. I was literally washing my son's bottles in the kitchen, and in my mum and dad's house where the kitchen is, there's a window, and that window you can see outside. So I could see people circling my dad's car. It was 2 men and 1 woman, just circling my dad's car, just, looking very suspicious, but they wasn't in uniform or anything. They were in their own clothes. And then I saw that they started approaching the front door. So as they were about to approach the front door, I called to my dad because my dad was upstairs getting ready for work. So as I was saying, oh dad, there's a few people circling your car, the doorbell went. So as I went to go and open the door, they were like, hi, we're looking for Francis Opong. And I'm like, oh, who are you? And they were like, oh, is he in? And then I'm like, daddy, someone's looking for you. So he's come down the stairs now, and they're like, hi, are you Francis Opong? And he was like, yeah, I'm Francis Opong. And they were like, sir, you're under arrest for and human trafficking of body parts.
when this man, obviously this man did not do any of this. When this man went to the courthouse, who was there in the courthouse? The auntie. That auntie from the beginning, guys. The auntie that reported them to the police in the first place. She was there. The heart of man is desperately wicked. Who can know the extent of it? So, it's desperately deep and wicked. Who can know the extent? So, he goes to court, and they hear it. Obviously, they see that it's not true, because every time she alleged rape, the dad was at work or he was taking the mom to dialysis. Like, there was no evidence base whatsoever. But unfortunately, the damage had already been done, because the police told the dad's work, obviously NHS. He lost his job there as a mental health nurse. But later he was able to get another job, but obviously in a different trust. So that happened. Fine, things are okay. Then I think things were getting quite hard for the family. And the dad, because she said that she never saw her dad happy again. He just lost complete trust in everyone. Understandably so. Look at what family can do to you. Of course you're going to lose trust in everyone, and how can you be happy again? So the dad was never happy. And then the dad was like, okay, I'm fed up. Let's go to Ghana. So they went to Ghana. And when they went to Ghana, they went to visit her mum's family. Honestly, the mum's side, hey, run away. I know that people always say it's the dad's side, but the mum's side as well, they have trouble. Oh my God. Honestly, when I tell you guys this is triggering, trust me, it is triggering. So they went back to Ghana and they went to see her mum's side of the family. And they were looking at the mum. They were like, hey, you're walking. And she's like, yeah. They took the mom to the room and they said, wait, so your sister in London has been telling everyone that your leg has been amputated. Can we see your leg? Is it your real leg? The mom lifted up her skirt, showed them it's her real leg. They said, hey, so it's not true. It's not true. Guys, you see witchcraft. So few years or few days. Anyway, they come back to the UK. And the mom develops a really bad infection in her leg. To the point that the doctors say, if we don't amputate your leg, you're going to lose your life. Look at that. Look at that prophecy. Not even prophecy, because that's a satanic prophecy. That word curse that her sister had put on her. And look at it manifesting in life. When I say there's so many lessons in this, trust me, I mean it. So the mom ended up having her leg amputated and had to learn how to walk again. And then a few years down the line go by now. And I think this is the bit that actually broke me completely. So the dad has taken the mom to dialysis and he's gone to pick her up. He's put her in the car and said, I'm just going to go to the toilet. Hours go by. The mom hasn't found, where's the dad? The daughter, she calls her mom like, where's dad? She's like, I don't know. He told me he was going to the toilet. Blah, blah, blah. So she was panicking. She's thinking so she called her brother. The brother went to pick up the mom from the car and they had to leave their dad's car in the hospital grounds. And they took the mom home. And they were just like, obviously mom was tired. She'd been on dialysis. She was absolutely tired. And the police now come to the door. And the daughter, she's got her kids there. So they're like, the police are like, oh, can the kids go upstairs? And, the police basically say, is this the residence of Mr. Opong? They're like, yes. They're like, unfortunately, we found him dead on the floor of the bathroom. I don't know. This bit really got me. I'm trying my best not to get emotional again. This bit really, really got me. So the dad died. She didn't say, people were speculating, did he commit suicide? What happened? I don't know what happened. I wonder if it was like a heart attack or something, but he was on the floor the of the toilet for 4 hours before he was found.
Police were like, "Hi, is this the residence of Francis Apong?" I'm like, "Yes, it is. What's going on?" Then they proceeded to say, "Can you tell the children to go upstairs?" Which was my two kids, my son and my daughter. So I was like, all right, cool. My brother took them upstairs, and then they dropped the worst news ever. They said, unfortunately, we found Francis Apong in the toilet, unalived. Like, yeah. So my dad was laying there for 4 hours, like, whilst I was panicking.
Honestly, may he rest in perfect peace. The devil is a liar. So then they, at this point, actually, I forgot. So the daughter, she had been trying to reach out to her cousins, like blood cousins, first cousins. And she wanted them to, she's like, this beef isn't with us, it's with our parents. We shouldn't carry it on. Ed. Like one of them, I think the sister had or the female cousin had responded, but the male cousin ignored her. And because she wanted to arrange to meet up, nothing. So anyway, when her dad died, she had posted on her Instagram about the dad dying. And the cousin saw the post and ignored it. And bless, the daughter has such a pure heart because she was even trying to reach out to the cousins. And I was just thinking, run away, because yes, it's not your beef, but it has become your beef, unfortunately, because the generations, they filter it into below, and the beef continues. So those people are not your cousin, they're not your family, because their parents can still manipulate them and infect their minds. So before the trouble that troubled your family troubles you as well, through your cousins, you have to run away. So anyway, they do the funeral for the dad, and apparently in Ghana there's something they call 1 week. So a week after the dad has died, it's like it's like a wake, or I'm not sure. I'm not too sure. So they did this ceremony in their house, and who turned up? The auntie, the mum's sister turned up. How dare you? And the thing is, let me tell you, the reason she turned up, she's a witch. That woman is a witch. And she wanted to see with her own eyes the physical manifestation of her evil and her wickedness and her witchcraft. She wanted to see it. That was it. The devil likes to gloat in what he does. So they wanted, yes, to be satisfied that I have accomplished my mission. Oh God, wickedness. So the auntie comes to the house and she's not even wearing black for a funeral. She's not even wearing all of that. This woman was wearing jeans and a top, came and sat down, saw and left within 15-20 minutes. Evil woman, wicked heart. I'm just praying that God takes control. God takes control. God. So then, after the dad's funeral, it's just, the mom alive now. And unfortunately, the mom, she was in a wheelchair because of, the amputation, everything. Later on, the mom she was then bedbound. And she developed a really bad infection. I think it was a pressure ulcer that got really, really infected. And, they were always doing meetings about the mom's health, and she needed adult social work involved. And I think one day she went for dialysis and her blood pressure was really, really low. And I think she went into cardiogenic shock, or so, I don't know. And they saw her mum take her last breath, and the mum passed as well. So, mum, dad, dead. All because of the aunties, the family back home in Ghana, jealousy, envy, witchcraft. Guys, this story is the saddest story I've ever listened to my entire life. Even me recollecting it, I'm still getting emotional. Honestly, I urge you, because my summary will not suffice, I urge you to go and watch the girl's video. I urge you, honestly, because there's so much to learn in it. People are wicked. This world is truly an evil and cruel world that we live in. And I pray for comfort for that family. And I pray that the parents are in God's arms in perfect peace in paradise with God, because they really suffered on this earth, all in the hands of people that they were close to, people that were meant to be looking out for them, people that were meant to love them. Guys, I pray that we all have discernment to know who we can trust and who we can't trust, because this world is truly wicked. And honestly, once you suspect or feel an ounce of jealousy, run away. Because all jealousy will do is fester and turn into hatred. And when someone hates you, there's nothing they cannot do. So I hope this story was a warning and people have learned something from it. And guys, let's stay prayed up. And I also urge everyone who has listened to the story to band together in prayer for this family. Because there's nothing prayer cannot do. I truly believe that. There's nothing God cannot do. There's no prayer God does not hear. And imagine now, the Bible says where 2 or 3 people are gathered in his name, his presence is there. So imagine now if hundreds of thousands of us all band together in prayer for this girl. Will justice not serve? Will God not reveal himself? 100%. So guys, let's band together and let's pray for this family. I really pray for peace and comfort from God. I pray for a divine intervention. I pray that God shows his power and his might, and he takes control of this situation in Jesus' mighty name. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. Thank you, and I will definitely see you guys in my next one. Bye, guys.